Hey, this is Mark. This video goes out to all of the neurotypical wives who may be suffering from Cassandra Syndrome. And in this video, I specifically want to look at when you stopped being your ASD husband's special interest. So if you're a neurotypical wife married to a man on the autism spectrum, there's a moment many women experience but rarely have language for. It's the moment you realize that the attention that you probably once received back in the day, the curiosity, the focus, the sense of being seen, kind of quietly disappeared. And you're kind of left wondering, well, what changed? What did I do wrong? Why do I feel so alone in this marriage? You've been living it. So I want to talk about this honestly, but without blame, without pathologizing, not trashing your ASD husband, of course. So I hope that we can keep this about the traits of the disorder per se, not so much that your ASD husband is a bad person. Now, I'm sure I would like him just fine. I'm sure he's a great guy on so many levels. When emotional connection fades, the neurotypical spouse's nervous system does what it's wired to do, especially if the neurotypical spouse is female. It reaches. You may have found that you explain more, you try harder, you initiate deeper conversations, you search for reassurance. But for many autistic partners, increased emotional bids kind of feel like pressure, not closeness. I mean, your heart's in the right place. You were doing the best that you knew how to do given the circumstances, but your message may have downloaded as anxiety producing for him. And so the more you pursue, the more his system moves towards shutdown or withdrawal. And it's not because he doesn't care, doesn't love you, or doesn't want to make you happy. He does. I hear it all the time from the ASD guys. But the emotional intensity to him feels overwhelming and unsafe. And so there's a painful loop that forms. You may have experienced it. You try harder. He pulls back further. Both of you kind of feel misunderstood. And this isn't a failure of effort on your part. It's a mismatch of nervous systems. So I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. You probably didn't know what you were dealing with back in the day. So let's be clear about what doesn't help now. I don't want you to be doing this anymore if you're really serious about recovering from Cassandra Syndrome. I don't want you to be doing any emotional pleading, long processing talks, hinting and hoping he'll just get it, self-sacrifice disguised as patience. We don't want to be doing that anymore. This increases emotional load, and overload leads to shutdown. Let me repeat that. All those things I just asked you to stop doing, that increases emotional load in your ASD husband, which will lead him to shutdown or meltdown or just have an adult temper tantrum. Now, what does help looks very different. Clarity over intensity, structure over spontaneity, direct requests instead of emotional subtext, predictable connection instead of constant connection. Connection becomes possible when it's concrete, contained, and emotionally safe for him. And here's something that many neurotypical wives need permission to hear. You are allowed to stop overfunctioning. Yes, you've been trying too hard for how long? You've been doing all the relationship work for how many decades? Now, acceptance is often misunderstood. I am asking you to get into acceptance, but acceptance does not mean approving of neglect. It doesn't mean giving up, and it doesn't mean you stop caring. Acceptance does mean you stop organizing your life around the hope that one day he'll suddenly meet your emotional needs. Someday he'll get it. Someday he'll try harder. Someday we'll be happy again. Hope can quietly keep you stuck, waiting, explaining, accommodating, and slowly disappearing. Acceptance asks a different question. Given who he actually is, what do I need to do to be well? That shift brings grief, but it also brings clarity and often relief. Now, a healthy exit isn't dramatic, it's clear. It doesn't start with rage or ultimatums. It starts when you stop arguing with reality. A healthy exit is not punishment. It's not revenge. It's not about finally making him understand. It looks like quiet preparation, emotional disentanglement, financial clarity, rebuilding support, steady boundaries instead of endless negotiations. It's not about escaping him, it's about returning to yourself. You can stay in the marriage without staying emotionally overextended. Staying becomes unhealthy when your entire inner life is organized around his limitations. Staying well means lowering unrealistic expectation, stopping emotional overfunctioning, building a life that doesn't depend on him for fulfillment, separating love from self-abandonment. Connection becomes sustainable when it's bounded, not chased. Now, when you stop chasing connection, intimacy changes shape. It's no longer emotional convincing, constant checking, hoping he'll finally respond in the right way. No. Instead, intimacy may become small, predictable moments, low-pressure closeness, shared routines, safety over spark. Choosing yourself has to come first. Choosing yourself doesn't mean choosing against him. It means you stop choosing against you. You don't need certainty. You don't need a perfect plan. And you don't need to justify your needs. The most important decision isn't what happened to the marriage. It's whether you disappear inside it. And when you choose yourself, every path becomes survivable and some become healing. Now, if this video put words to something you've been living, you're not alone. And you're not broken from wanting connection. You deserve clarity in a life that doesn't require self-sabotage. If this video resonated, like, subscribe, and please comment below. I respond to every comment. I also have many books on Amazon. Just do an Amazon search for Mark Hutten. And I also have a Cassandra Syndrome recovery group. If you'll email me, there's my email address right there. I'll be glad to send you the link to the Cassandra Syndrome recovery group. I'll also be glad to send you the link to my Amazon books. Thank you. God bless. If you are a neurotypical wife in a marriage with an ASD level 1 husband, and you feel like you're suffering from Cassandra Syndrome, then there's going to be a link below this video in the description area and also pinned in the comment section that will take you to my Cassandra Syndrome recovery group. We meet 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. I hope to see you in that group.